PlayStation 5 versus the PlayStation 4 in 2024. Let's talk about it. So this is going to be a review of both consoles in 2024, telling you which one's better to buy now, and also just a general review of both consoles. Let's start with the PlayStation 4 and then work our way to the PlayStation 5. So the PlayStation 4 was an amazing console. It was out for over a decade and they're just finishing up with the PlayStation 4 now, but they're still releasing games. That's why it's still valuable to get a PlayStation 4. If you can't afford a PlayStation 5, 100% get yourself a PlayStation 4. You have decent load times. Yes, you have to wait a little bit to upload games, but at the end of the day, the load times aren't that bad. The fan internally is a bit loud, but you can still get away with it. It's cheap and affordable, so you can get a PlayStation 4 now for about $250. With a PlayStation 5, it's still like $750, so not everybody can afford a $750 console, right? So PlayStation 4 still has those amazing things about it. Yeah, we're missing out on a bit of ray tracing and extra bits and pieces there. In terms of gameplay, like, you can still get away with Spider-Man, like, it still looks great on these consoles. In terms of the games, they're still releasing the games on the PlayStation 4 now. So they're still releasing its exclusives or cross-compatible games on the PlayStation 4. So it's still worth getting it because you've already got a fantastic library. Stuff like Horizon's games, The Last of Us, God of War, like, they're really good games for the PlayStation 4. Some of them are actually better than some of the PlayStation 5 games out there. We're just missing out on a few bits and pieces here and there, such as Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. Spider-Man 2 isn't available on the PlayStation 4. There's other games like Elden Ring's available on the PlayStation 4. We've got Hogwarts Legacy available, God of War Ragnarok available, Ghost of Tsushima, Red Dead Redemption 2, like, the list will still go on with the PlayStation 4. It's still a worthwhile console to get if you can't afford the PlayStation 5 because you get so many great games with it. So it's actually still worthwhile playing, and you know, the load times are a little bit slower because of load screens, and the internal SSD isn't as powerful as the PlayStation 5, but you still get a great experience, and people are still playing the PlayStation 4 online to this day as well. And also you can customize your home screen. It's something that we can't do with the PlayStation 5 that we can do with the PlayStation 4. We have custom folders with names. We have many features with the PlayStation 4 that we still wish we had with the PlayStation 5. In terms of the controllers as well, like, the controller works perfectly fine with the PlayStation 4. It's a little bit smaller, but it has all the features that you need to just do gameplay. Everything you need is already there. And also, because some of the games are a little bit older now, they actually go for really good prices, especially pre-owned games. So getting a PlayStation 4 is definitely still worth it. And you can grab a pre-owned PlayStation 4 like I've got here for a really good price, for about $200, and you can get yourself a PlayStation 4. Or if you want that 4K capability, you can actually get yourself a PlayStation 4 Pro for a little bit extra. It's definitely still worth it to this day because of all these amazing things that you get with the PlayStation 4, and it's still quite affordable and still plays amazing games that we still have to this day, and they're still releasing stuff in 2024, new PlayStation 4 games, so it's definitely still worth it. In terms of the PlayStation 5, yes, we get the ray tracing, we get performance modes, high fidelity modes, we've got fast load times, we've got brand new games coming out for the PlayStation 5, and we've just gotten Spider-Man 2, which is by far one of my favorite games for PlayStation. So unfortunately with the PlayStation 4, we are missing out on some of these really great games, such as Spider-Man 2, Returnal won't be available for the PlayStation 4, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, which is one of my favorite games as well. There are certain games which are my go-tos for the PlayStation 5 that aren't available on the PlayStation 4, but there's still games that I absolutely love for the PlayStation 5 that are available on the PlayStation 4. You know, the PlayStation 5 is going to be a lot faster. Yes, it's more of a luxury to have the PlayStation 5, but it's more available today. So before, it was really hard to get a PlayStation 5. You had to jump through loops and hoops to get one, especially 2 years ago, but now you can just walk in and get yourself a PlayStation 5. This is the new PlayStation 5 Slim. We've got a lot of really great updates with the new PlayStation models, such as just making it more silent during gameplay. It's not perfectly silent, you know, the internal fan is still there, but it's a lot quieter and it's a lot more powerful in terms of its gameplay as well. Playing some of the basic games, you really see the power of the DualSense controller. It has amazing capabilities with it. If you are buying for like a kid, right, I'll probably go more towards the PlayStation 4. It's gonna be cheaper to replace, and it's not as valuable of an item. There's still games like Fortnite that you could still play online with the PlayStation 4. But if you're buying for someone that's a little bit more mature, that can look after the items a little bit better, then definitely a PlayStation 5 would be better for them. Now, the PlayStation 5 is quite expensive still, so it is $750. In terms of its inputs, they've really changed it up with the PlayStation 5 Slim and changed it up with the design as well. So we've got two Type-C connections. There's also easier ways to upgrade the storage with the PlayStation 5, and also just transferring storage over. We could either do it online or physically with SSDs. So you could basically just plug a USB stick into the PlayStation 4 and plug it into the PlayStation 5, download all the data. In terms of other ways, you have the internal SSD options, because we have a plate over here that we can easily just take out. So in terms of, you know, SSD compatibility, we've got our little compartment over here where we could do an internal SSD input, where you could do an extra 2 terabytes internally for your PlayStation 5, which I find that it's a bit harder to do that with the PlayStation 4. And also other customizations such as face plates, different controllers. You got a lot of the new accessories are available with the PlayStation 5 that aren't as available with the PlayStation 4. Compatibility, there's probably some accessories that are available with the PlayStation 4 that are compatible, but mainly they're compatible for the PlayStation 5. So yes, a lot of great things are with the PlayStation 5. You get the more updated graphics, better SSD internally, and a more powerful engine. Of course you do with the new PlayStation 5, but it is a lot more expensive and it's more of a luxury item than just getting your PlayStation 4 in 2024. There's still reasons to want to get the PlayStation 4 in 2024, and those reasons have been discussed in this video, where it's just a more cost-effective thing. And if you're just buying for like someone who's quite young, that doesn't really look after their items as well and can drop things, you know, just wants a PlayStation and can't really afford the PlayStation 5 just now, then the PlayStation 4 is perfect. You know, it is still viable to this day. We're still playing games that are cross-compatible with the PlayStation 4 to this day. PlayStation 5, of course, is going to be God tier. It's going to be the best one to go for because it is the latest and greatest thing with Sony. Both are amazing and still viable to this day. So best of luck with getting a PlayStation this year. I hope you get one because they're both so much fun and you will love it.